This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk. This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Brother, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Charmander.
Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Good morning and welcome. There's 1, 6, 3, 6 of down, 2, dunk. You can find us on The Athletic and anywhere else you subscribe to your podcast. Go to theathletic.com/dunk. Get The Athletic for one other. I'm Luke. Join this morning, Andrew.
I gotta say, I'm just fired up to be here today. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. Woo!
Slam through.
Taylor.
Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, slam through.
And Jay.
It's Jay.
It is Jay. And you know what? It's also Aaron and Drew Reese from Shelter Insurance.
Sure is.
Who are here to help you guys with any of your needs. You know what? Do you care about your house? I bet you do.
No. Yes.
Do you care about your car?
Yes.
Bet you do. You got to protect your valuable assets. And these are 2 guys that can help you. Call Aaron at 405-773-5500. Call Drew 405-478-7714. You can call or text them on those numbers today. Protect what matters
Your most valuable assets.
That's right. That's what they say. Call them today. Great guys. They support Down to Dunk and the Thunder.
Taylor won the belt.
Taylor won the belts.
And we
Finally.
we must celebrate him.
And you know what?
I had to praise you like I should. Praise you like I should. How do you feel?
So
I feel good, especially I feel even better winning it the way that I did.
How did you win it?
Well, I won it because I said the Thunder were going to win Game 7 by 45 points.
Yep.
Did I?
My
I said
1.
45.
He said 45. Luke said 1.
Andrew's 5.
I said five.
I said 1, but you said 5.
Yeah,
Great. 4 points.
Yeah. In the context of someone saying 45, that's pretty close.
And
to 1.
Jay said 4.
Jay said 4. We were all nervous, and rightfully so. They had just lost Game 6.
Yeah.
And then they
But then Taylor believed.
just killed them.
Taylor believed.
Destroyed them.
What made you think that? Walk us through your thought process.
Yeah, I just really love this team. I love the guys. I play with them every day. I'm at practice with them. I see how much work they put in. And I noticed the other squad, they've been getting a little tired here and there, and it was just time for us to click in and run and do our thing and play.
Boom.
It's hard to believe that, a week ago, they dismantled the Nuggets. And apparently that was their biggest test.
So far.
Because the Timberwolves they looked like a team that had no answers yesterday.
I need to say something about both games so far.
Say it.
Both games have felt like regular season games to me.
Yeah.
They have felt like tough regular season games.
Part of that.
Last night's had some different vibes to it in my mind.
Until the 3rd quarter.
No, I just thought I just think the energy was better in Game 2 than it was Game 1. I think the MVP helped.
Yeah.
But I think like that run in Chet's finish lob, like that felt like playoff guys.
There were
I should be clear.
big moments.
How the how the game is turning out and how we're able to handle this opponent
homey
feels
they feel.
like,
I think what you're saying is
the Minnesota Timberwolves are not as good as the Nuggets.
the round 2 really stressed you out.
Yeah.
And so far, the Western Conference Finals have not stressed you out.
Yeah,
No.
That's
For
that
me.
I'm in
Yeah.
a totally different place. My
Way
mental.
You're not having to like stand up and pace around your living room as
No
you're
way.
watching these games. You know, it feels like even when the Thunder have been down, which I think it was maybe like a minute last night that they were down. But even in game 1, they're down double digits at times. You know, they go into half down. You just think, and I just thought, I think I told Luke this at halftime. I would be surprised if they lost this game because of the way that they were playing. I just thought they've kind of figured them out, but they were just overthinking the way that they were executing their offense. And when they stopped doing that and they just played, they destroyed them.
In what it feels like to me is like when we were playing the Nuggets, when we were up by 15, it felt like a tied basketball game.
Yeah.
And now when we're up by 15, it's like, great. Like, we're winning this basketball game. It just feels completely different and better in every way.
Yeah.
Because it's like those Nuggets games, like if they'd take it from like 15 to 10 and be like, well, we're losing this game.
Yeah.
Like,
They just made the Thunder's offense look terrible. The Nuggets did with their zone.
Yeah.
And like, this is my assessment. And I don't know what you guys think about this, but I feel like Aaron Gordon just made the zone defense for the Nuggets work. Like his quickness, his ability to be like in multiple places at one time, it felt like. And the guys who are taking that spot for the Wolves are Julius Randle and Naz Reid.
Yeah.
Who are not like guys that have like quick foot speed.
Yeah.
What they need is like Jaden McDaniels to take that spot. But Jaden McDaniels is the point of attack defender and the guy who's got to meet Shea with the ball. So it takes him away from that spot. And now the Thunder can just back cut them. They can find ways to get into the paint, which is what they've been
They're
doing.
just not as disciplined or as they just don't have the intelligence to on the court that the Nuggets do.
It's funny because like you look at like the defensive personnel and you just thought, wow,
Wolves
this
should be able to out defend the Nuggets clearly.
Yeah.
Like, remember when like Rudy Gobert, like in the old Thunder teams, like Russ was like scared to drive on him.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't feel like a factor at all anymore.
He's a factor. He's been very bad.
He's been terrible.
It's been very, very bad for them. The Thunder play him off the court. They played Randall off the court last night. They played DiVincenzo off the court. I mean, the thing we talk about in the playoffs is like, oh, who has depth? Well, the Wolves had good depth, but the Thunder have, I mean, at least last night, they rendered 3 of their best players, unplayable, like 3 of their best 6 players.
Well,
unplayable.
One of the secret sauces that I actually thought was
Sauce. Sounds
you
delicious.
could see it in the regular season when Naz Reid was going in just crazy on the Thunder.
Yeah.
Is the way he plays, just put a wing on him.
Yeah.
Like he may give up some rebounding, but he's not somebody that's like, I'm going to punish this guy down low. And if he does, it's like, cool. Well, Jonas Valanciunas you off the court.
Yeah.
So you just guard him with the wing.
Yep. Guard him with a wing. They did that with Randall too. There was the one play that resulted in a fast break for the Thunder where Randall gets the ball. He turns and Lou Dort is just right there. And he just
maybe my favorite play of the game.
Bats the ball out of his hands. And he's just standing there, just wide-eyed in disbelief as the Thunder go to the other end and score. And it's those moments where it's like, uh-oh. Randall is kind of a dinosaur in this series, as is Gobert. And the Thunder are very willing and able to go small or to go Chet at center. And they did that. They've done that basically with this Gobert Wolves team since they could, is they always go small. I mean, I remember last year when they played the Wolves for the first time, it was Chet at center and they played Kenrich. And they didn't go to Jay Will. They didn't go to anybody else. It was, we feel comfortable going small against this team. And that is still the same philosophy that Mark is putting out there now. And it looks like the Wolves just don't have any real answers outside of just making more threes.
And outside of Ant going for 50 some game.
Last night it felt like Ant played really well and he
His
gave
efficiency
so
was
much.
So bad.
He gave so much in this one. It wasn't that. I mean, he's 12 of 26. That's not great.
Oh yeah, that was better though.
1 of 9 from
thought.
3, but they're just not letting him shoot wide open threes, which is part of the thing for him. But he had 32, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. You know, they forced the Thunder to shoot 27% from 3, and they still lost by 15.
Yeah. And going back to depth, like, you talked about Kenrich in the regular season against the Wolves. We don't see him at all, basically, the whole playoffs. And then game 1, he comes in.
Yeah.
And he's immediately a positive player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, great defender, hitting threes. He was great. He was awesome. And He was like, oh, my God, this team is even deeper than I thought. Isaiah Joe was getting some run in game 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope he can find somewhere. I think we're going to need him to be hitting shots at Minnesota.
Seems like a tall task for old Isaiah Joe.
I guess apparently he just can't. He just
He's been
can't
better
shoot.
against the Wolves.
Oh yeah.
But the
He's
whole
better.
team has.
He just struggled. He just
Kaysen
struggled
was the
on
one
the
that I
road.
was like, he felt like he missed an abnormal amount of like threes he usually makes.
They were giving to him a lot, and he was having troubles early on.
Yeah, he had that wing 3 twice in a row. It was like the same shot, same result. Out
and
there.
then he hit a
on
huge
the right
one in
wing.
the 4th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dub was. I told Andrew this before the pod. I think the thing that was maybe the most impressive to me from the Thunder last night was, and this is probably like prisoner of the moment, and I mean I acknowledge that, but it felt like one of the best games that the 3 stars ever had at the same time.
I agree.
Like
I agree with
Dub
that.
was incredible. Shea was his usual incredible self.
Yeah.
And then Chet also was phenomenal. Like it was the best version of those 3 on the court together that they've had. And largely, and Andrew, you just mentioned this, but largely because they're able to put Chet at the 5.
Yeah.
And the addition of iHeart is such a great curveball to throw. And obviously he's been enormous for this team, but they are at their best when Chet plays the 5, at least against this current squad.
Yep.
Or against the Wolves.
Yeah.
And so they just, the 3 of them together, it was actually the role players that were the weaker link of last night's game, which has not been the reality for most of the playoffs.
Who has
so
gotten
far.
us through like the rest of the playoffs up to this point.
They were outscored. Their bench was outscored last night by the Wolves bench.
Yeah.
I think the Thunder had 17 to 35, which has not been a thing, through the first 2 rounds. And still, the Thunder beat them by 15 points.
Here's my take on going back to Minnesota. Game 3 is, this is not a earth-shattering take.
Mm-hmm.
Game 3 is must win in the sense of, I think if the Wolves get beat again in game 3, that they completely roll over in game 4.
Their backs are against the wall.
It's a sweep.
Yeah.
A sweep is on the table. I thought it sounded absurd.
Yeah.
Like if you would have said before the series started, hey, Thunder are going to sweep the Wolves. Be like, wow.
Yeah.
Don't think so. Don't think that's happening. But I still think it's probably more likely that this goes 5 and possibly even 6 games. But like what seems the most possible to me is that they go and they split in Minnesota, come back game 5, and win game 5.
Yeah.
Move on to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2012.
That felt really good to hear that.
Yeah.
A little bit of goosebumps.
It feels weird to say it.
A little bit of goosebumps to
because
hear it.
We talk about it so much, and we have talked about it so much for so long about how here's what you have to do to get back to a title. And we talk about the rebuild and what you have to do. Like, here's the method that you have to use because you're in Oklahoma City and you don't have free agency. You don't have, it's hard to make trades that actually get you to the NBA Finals. And the Thunder have built in a way that has got them to this point. And it is wild to think that they got here this quickly, because it wasn't that long ago that we were just talking about the possibilities of Poku. But now we sit here today, 2 wins away from the NBA Finals, 6 wins away from winning an NBA title for the first time in franchise history. We don't have to talk about the Sonics. It
Yeah,
doesn't really
please,
exist.
everybody stop. That's how I know who's like a real basketball person and who's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like just the easiest thing where if you say that the Thunder have had a championship, not a real basketball person.
Yeah. Come on. But yeah, this is the most real that it's felt. And you look at the East, it feels like, I mean, Jay, you know this better than anybody. Remember like the Lakers in the early 2000s playing against the Spurs or the Kings or whoever it was, and it was like, this is the real NBA Finals. And then you look across at the East, and it was whoever it was like just going to be just dismantled by them. I don't know.
They beat the Sixers in 5. They beat the Pacers in 4, and then they played. I can't remember what the Nets one was, 4 or 5 too.
Yeah, I don't know that these teams in the East are as bad as those.
No, the
teams
Pacers got me a little bit intrigued.
The Pacers, I think, had the entire crowd in Oklahoma City last night just tense whenever they pulled within 10, even though, I mean, I don't know if that Pacers game didn't happen the night before. Do you think that the crowd is as tense as they were in the last 2 minutes of the game? Because the Thunder were still up 10, 12, 13 at times, but it felt tense because I think most people watched that game, that Indy game, and thought, oh my gosh, even up 14 with 50 seconds left, it's still possible that you lose this game.
I had 2 games in my head. Obviously, a little bit of that Pacers one, but I also go back to that just stupid loss that the Thunder had before the All-Star break.
Oh, to the Wolves.
Where the Wolves came back from 16 down with just a whole bunch of bench players.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, there were a few, like it just was, the offense stagnated. You could feel the Thunder pull the foot off the gas. And they did. They started trapping and making things a little more challenging to get the ball out. But it took, I think, 2 series, and all of a sudden the Thunder felt, oh, yep, here's how we respond to that.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Dub hit that huge 3.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Taylor. Sorry.
I was going to say, who responded every time it felt like that was Chet or Dub.
Yeah.
It wasn't Shea. It was Chet or Dub, and that was something we did not have in that Nuggets series. In that Nuggets series, it was every single point was such a damn grind.
It's because it's exactly what they did, and I don't know if the Wolves have that in them to do it as. I mean, I think we've discussed they don't really have it in them to do it as well, personnel wise, and probably also their ability to play a zone like they do. But it was that zone, man. They were basically running a box and one.
Yeah.
The Nuggets were,
Yep.
And it just made it to where getting into the mid range, getting into the paint, just unbelievably challenging.
Yeah,
and
they figured it out at the end. The Thunder figured they played them. The zone did not work in the end. Obviously, they won.
Yeah,
and they started figuring out those backdoor cuts, getting guys to the dunker spots.
Yeah,
ton of lobs in Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
They figured out how to play against it, which is really why I'm like there is not a defense, and it may change. The Wolves may figure something out. I don't know. I'm not trying to fast forward that much. But if you look at the way that people have played against the Thunder defensively, now they have accomplished the feat of playing winning basketball against every version of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you put them in man, listen, even with a really good defensive team and the Wolves, you just still can't, because Shea's mid-range game is and Dub, they both from the mid-range, which is just Rudy Gobert's hell. It's just they're a problem. Like they're a problem for the way the Wolves want to defend.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm interested to see what Chris Finch looks at. I assume that today and into tomorrow is he'll probably spend most of his time figuring out a way to complain about refs. Since that's all he does.
It's all the whole team does. The whole game.
So instead of going in and like really figuring out how to play better against his team, I'm assuming they'll have some calls with the league office to try to just complain about the whistles, since that's literally all the Wolves have.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most embarrassing way to lose a game, is to just constantly complain about all of the factors that you can't control, instead of recognizing what are the things you can control.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they have to complain, because there's not a whole lot they can control.
Dude, I could see it. I sent this in the text thread, but you could see it. Well, there's one time where Chris Finch, like something happened. Maybe it was the Julius Randle play where Lou got the ball or whatever. And Chris Finch turns immediately to the Tony brothers. And it's like, Tony was done.
Yeah.
Done.
Also, Scott Foster got punched in the nose.
He did.
He was
I thought they were going to have
he's
to
bleeding
review that
everywhere.
for
Forgot to
flagrant.
mention that. That was pretty
Dort
special.
looked at Chris Paul and he said, "I got you, brother."
I know. Chris Paul was just
Socked him in the face.
as soon as that happened, he put the 3 in the air.
He turned the game off. He went straight to
He
bed.
was there.
He was good.
he was at the game.
He's at the game.
Oh yeah.
Did you watch the game, Taylor?
I watched it. I was at the garage with some boys.
Oh, nice. Having a few
No,
cold
I
ones?
had a couple athletics.
Oh, there you
And
Hey, those
a,
are ice
fried
cold ones.
onion. Yeah, they're ice cold
They're
ones.
ice cold.
And
They're
a
coldish.
fried onion burger.
You
There
back
go.
on that non-alcoholic beer phase?
I was last night.
Okay, just up and down, kind of like the Thunder's 3-point shooting.
Yeah. Let's not get too personal about this.
Good to see you,
So
man.
in the fourth quarter,
Honestly, it's good to be here.
the Wolves had closed it to 10 after an Edwards jump shot with 3 minutes left, 97-107. Chet had a layup. Thunder get a stop. Nikhil gets 2 free throws to push it back to 10. And then it's J-Dub that hits a 3.
Yeah, before that J-Dub 3, when it was at 10, it was feeling like
there was tension in the building.
This could go a bad way.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left is when J-Dub, whenever Nikhil hit those free throws, and then J-Dub hits a 3, they get a stop, and then Shea hits our jumper.
Yeah.
Or he hit a layup that put them up 15.
Yeah, gorgeous take to the rim.
Yeah.
And then Dub, especially in the first quarter, it was like,
his midi was just automatic.
Yeah.
And it felt like
automatic.
Perfect J-Dub game. This is what we were missing in that Nuggets series.
Yeah.
This is why it was so frustrating to watch that series, because you knew he could do that.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't get it.
And I just think we should just J-Dub right now, because there were a whole lot of haters in the Nuggets series were kind of
you still
popping
want
their heads up out.
You still want to trade J-Dub?
Yeah, don't.
Still want to trade him?
Yeah, we don't have to talk about that. There was the putback that he had after he stole the ball, and I think, it was Caruso that was on McDaniels, and then J-Dub kind of went over for the double team, and the ball just popped out, just right into Dub's
I loved
hands.
that play.
And then J-Dub threw it ahead to Chet.
Chet missed it.
Who missed it, and then J-Dub got it, and then hit the layup, got an and one, missed the free throw.
The best part of that play was actually J-Dub, the cleanest steal I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, and then he had
in
the
the
ball
air,
on his
grabs
back.
it in the air, like scoops the ball with his left, wraps it around.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was right. It was amazing on the sideline. That was the most athletic part of that whole
Ant
thing.
was right there. I mean, it was sick.
That was so sick. Yeah, the and one was, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was just the stuff that we're not. I think that's what is so different and why it was so tense is we're coming out of the Nugget series. If they got it to 10, it was tense. You didn't know if you were going to win.
Yeah, they would take care. That's the thing, is that the Nuggets in those moments would take care of the basketball. They would slow things down. They'd bring it up the court methodically, and Jokic would go to work.
They run 2-man game with Jamal and Jokic, which got them something every single time. And what does Minnesota have that's the equivalent of that?
They don't.
What was the difference between the two teams in turnovers?
I mean, the Thunder just didn't turn the ball over.
I think they had 6.
Yeah, they had
and
6.
The Wolves had 14.
To 14.
Yeah. I mean,
and even 14, that's pretty
good.
John Krasinski on the NBA Daily last night was saying, I don't know that they're going to take care of the ball much better than they did tonight.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They're a little loosey goosey, those Timberwolves.
Yeah, they had 17 in game 1.
Yeah, which both those numbers are not crazy numbers. I mean, the Thunder I think turned the Nuggets over 20 plus times in a couple games.
So then is a 6 for the Thunder a crazy number?
6 is
really good.
Phenomenal.
I mean,
when you think about the guys that have the basketball a lot, J-Dub had 0 turnovers. Shea had 1 turnover. Chet ended up with 3, but man, if you were to say between the big 3 for the Thunder, they're going to have 5 total turnovers. You feel really good about that because then Hartenstein had 1, Caruso had 1, and that was it. I mean, that is really pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That they were able to, take care of the basketball. And this is the Thunder formula. The thing that feels regular season about these games is that this is how they won basketball games throughout the entire regular season.
Yeah.
Is that they win the possession battle, they win the turnover battle. They have this lockdown defense that gives them this floor that's higher than any other team in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then if they can just either get in the paint and score, or they hit enough threes, they're going to win basketball games. And the Thunder have not shot well from three. They were 27% last night, but they were able to get into the paint. They generated really good mid-range jumpers. And Shea and Dub just look really comfortable against these wing defenders from the Wolves. And like that should be the scariest thing to the Timberwolves, is that neither one of them have looked uncomfortable throughout this 2-game series so far. And if they don't find a way to get Shea and Dub uncomfortable in their games, this one is going to be over really fast, because those guys, I think this team is going to be ready to slam the door shut. I wondered last night after Shea gets the MVP trophy, like which is called the Michael Jordan trophy. You guys call it that?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that, but I heard that last night.
You just wonder, okay, what do they do? What do they look like after the presentation? Yesterday there was the MVP like press conference that happened last night. It's weird because you're in the Western Conference Finals, and you have to like pause to reflect and pause to do like this really emotional thing. And he gets all of his teammates watches and I guess iPhones, and then I can't remember what the other part of the gift was.
Canada Goose jacket
Canada Goose
or something.
Jacket, yeah.
Canada Goose.
Canada Goose.
Canada Goose.
I got you all Canada geese.
They're here. Canadian geese. Grab yourself one.
They're all outside of Andrew's house.
They're horrible. They're
crapping everywhere.
They're pooping on everything, but they're expensive.
Congratulations.
And they're in your bags with your rollies.
But guys,
the goose head out of the bag.
Make sure you check all the goose poop, because I did feed each goose a Rolex.
That's right. This is how you get
someday. The goose is going to pass it.
By the way, Mark, before the game, was asked if he got a Rolex. And he was like, no. He said, you know what? Shea said that everyone loves a watch. He said, apparently not everyone. That's pretty
going back to the turnover comment, because I was just wondering, like, all right, so what were their turnovers in the series against the Warriors? So they had 92 turnovers over 5 games, averaging 18.5 per game against the Warriors.
They've done a good job taking care of the
so
ball
far they've
for
like
them.
been really, really mindful of turnovers, but
yeah.
I don't know. The Thunder's defense is so relentless as far as the way that they play with their hands, their ability to get just deflections, and I don't know. It's just there's a reason this team was who they were in the regular season. It wasn't a fluke.
Like we are watching the team that had set the record for point differential. We're watching a team that won 68 basketball games.
That had one of the greatest defensive ratings of all time.
And that has the MVP on the team. That's who we're watching.
Mm-hmm.
If only they had another accolade they could get in the next few weeks. That'd be great. We could talk about this team forever.
They even got, they have all defensive first team guard.
Team for Lou. Thank God.
Second team for Dub. They're getting all these accolades. Everybody's very excited about it. Everybody's very proud of Lou for achieving that. And, seeing Shea and seeing the team just kind of rally around him, Shea very clearly, and it's very thundery to want your teammates on the stage with you when you're being presented with it.
Yeah.
And he mentioned them. I think he mentioned them first in his speech yesterday. But yeah, this is who they are. And this is some of what the Wolves have been in the regular season, is that they were one of the more confusing teams, honestly, in the regular season. They would have stretches where they looked amazing. They'd have stretches where they look like this. And you just wonder if the Thunder do take away Randall for the rest of the series and play Gobert off the court, and if Dante is not hitting, 50% of his threes, he's the guy that's being targeted. It was fun watching Shea just go hunting on the offensive end. And he was like, get me Dante DiVincenzo, please.
And by the way, Randall being played off the floor in game 2 after he has a really good offensive game in game 1.
Well, he had a good half where he had 20 points, and then the Thunder shut him down in the second half.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels surreal, to be in the building. L-Man's been in the building too. It just feels surreal to like be at these games and to think that the Thunder are the best team in the NBA. And the thing that should be scary, and I've been talking about it this season, is that this is possibly the worst this Thunder team is going to look for the next 5+ years, because they're young, which we all know because it's repeated 1 billion times, even by us. But they're going to be better next year. They're bringing back the same squad.
Yeah.
A year of experience, a massive playoff run.
The cap sheet's already set up, baby. We're good to go.
That's why I think there's been kind of like people complaining about Shea and a lot of just this Thunder team, because it's everyone realizing like, oh, this is the basketball that we are going to be watching deep into every playoffs for the next 5 years.
Man, they hate us because they ain't us, man.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Are you saying they hate us because they ain't us?
That's what I thought you were trying to say.
Ain't us.
Yeah.
But that's what I think everyone's just like, oh, this is what we're going to be watching for the next deep into the playoffs for the next like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
this is it. And you better get used to it, because ready or not.
I love how the only argument, like everyone is just crying about Shea.
Yeah.
The only thing they have is kiss the line too much.
But then there's been a good number of people that have come up and like made videos that just dismantle that argument.
Yeah. That's the nerds are here on our side.
I love it.
They are. Great. And you know what is so, and I've mentioned this before, the only thing you have is the thing that has been praised for every other superstar, which is their ability to get to the line when they need to get to the line to keep their team in it.
Yeah.
KD was always praised for like his ability. He's so skilled at getting to the line. LeBron James is so skilled at getting the favorable call. It is a skill to get the favorable call.
What were we saying? Like in the bubble and the year after with Shea, it's like, man, Shea, he's got the mid-range jumper.
Yeah.
He can get to the hoop whenever he wants, but
needs to get to the line.
Once he develops an ability to get to the free throw line,
Yep.
then it's all going to be good.
How many times does Giannis go to the free throw line every game? How many times does Embiid go to the free throw line every game?
The best players in the world, man.
I didn't even think we would go down this pathway because it's such a stupid.
Well, it's the only thing that people can talk about, and it's so prevalent because it is the only thing.
I feel like there was enough noise in opposition to that take yesterday that it felt, even on the ESPN broadcast, because Doris apparently was one that called him a free throw merchant in game one. I didn't notice that, but
that broke my heart, by the way.
But and then of course in game two they're like, well, look at don't forget Richard Jefferson. I felt like somebody was like, hey, I need you to be the one who talks about why he gets a lot of free throws, and it's not always seeking them. And then there's moments where it's like Shea's doing what he always does, and what every other player has almost always done is you bait fouls. Like you figure out ways to play. Did you all watch Jokic last game?
Yeah.
Or last series?
Yeah.
Have you watched him his entire career?
And what do we call
Especially
him?
for Denver fans to sit here and
I know.
complain about it.
know.
Like, are you kidding me?
Because Jokic is flopping off ball. Ball.
He would just jump into Caruso. Just to
I know.
make it look
Denver
like
fans saying something was so insane.
He was running Jay Well to the official. Remember that?
And then they got called. Jokic got called
for
for
the
it.
offensive foul.
Yeah,
it was really funny. Just really funny. Let's not talk about this.
I love it. We should revel in the hate though, because now we're the team. We're the number one team.
I don't revel in hate very well. I just get really mad.
Oh, I revel in hate because what it means is we're the best. If no one's talking about you, they don't care about you. You're not worth being talked about. Now,
my favorite thing too is I'm just like, all right, let's just go through it's kind of like whenever people talk about any sort of conspiracy. It's like, all right, let's just follow this through. Oklahoma City, the third smallest market in the NBA. Now, do they have young stars? Do they have a fun team to watch? In my opinion, yeah. But the NBA is not organizing the league's officiating
in favor
of the third smallest market in the NBA.
Oklahoma City, when they have a superstar in Anthony Edwards on the other side.
in a larger market, which Minnesota, I don't think Minnesota would be as much of a draw for the average fan as the Thunder would be.
Yeah, but they have professional baseball.
Oh, way bigger
football.
market, yeah.
Like they have those things. Like this is a much bigger market than Oklahoma City, who are like, we're just like, man, could we get our professional soccer stadium going? You know, like there's just not.
We have to have one of our ex players be able to fund us having a better soccer stadium.
Yeah. Did you see that picture?
That's not true. It's part of the new Maps project.
It is.
But I thought Russ
is
he's investing. I don't know if he's investing in the arena or the team, but yeah.
Oh, I thought he was.
But we are also that's been in plans for years.
I'm not your enemy, man. I was just making a joke.
Hey, whoa!
I was just making a joke.
Will you just shut up?
Hey, remember your friends.
That's not true.
Hey, guys, you're friends.
We're big.
Did you see the picture of it was downtown Oklahoma City and it was on Twitter and it had like arrows to all the things says when we were last in the Western Conference in 2012, these things weren't here.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that, but I've thought about that a lot.
It's
pretty cool.
Well, you didn't hear
cool.
like they wouldn't. I remember Stan Van mentioned it one time on the Levitard show. It's like they stay at the Omni. They stay at the Omni now. Most media members just stay right across the street, and they're like, because somebody tried to do what they always do when somebody's in Oklahoma City, and so Stan Van was basically like, no, actually, it's really nice. They have this really nice hotel right across the street, so we stay there and just walk across the street to the game. And
yeah.
I was like, it is a far better experience today than it was in 2012.
Yeah.
Not to mention, people can go over to the Okana.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
hang out at the beach.
I bet a lot of people are hanging out on Okana.
Have you been to Okana?
Not
looks like
necessarily.
you were going there today.
I want to go, but I have not been yet.
Yeah, that's good.
But I want to go.
Yeah, me too, man.
Who do you guys want to play? If we want,
Let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Would you don't want to?
No.
Why not?
It just feels it's only game 2.
We have gone.
Okay.
We have not only
Series doesn't
not
start
only-
till somebody wins on the opposing court.
Not only does it feel wrong to do it, but also we're gonna have a ton of time to talk about it if it does.
Yeah, that's true.
So, one of the just things I was thinking of. So, Thunder up 2-0. It's a 7-game series. So there's 5 games left. The Thunder have to win 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5. Which
The Wolves have to win 4 out of 5.
Yeah, when you say it like that, it feels impossible.
I know.
Yeah.
For them
and
to do
it's
it.
I know I'm not trying to put the cart in front of the horse, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Don't try to count.
Could you even if you wanted to?
Don't even know what that means.
Count your chickens before
I
they
guess-
hatch.
Don't put the cart in front of the horse. The horse is just going to run into the cart, probably break its legs. Then when you figure out the horse should
The
be
horse's
driving
legs or the cart's legs?
the cart, both maybe.
mess.
How
It's
heavy
too
is
late.
this cart?
It's a mess.
Gotta be
Heavier
pretty
than the
heavy.
horse.
What's in it? It's a mess.
That
Apples.
a lot of apples. That's
Oh,
why the
so
horse
many
is
apples.
attacking it.
You guys see Shay eating the apple? Do you see the?
I didn't see it until Alex brought it to my attention.
Yeah,
in the,
I didn't either.
text thread.
Apparently, I was going to ask Shay what his favorite apple is because you just saw him just eat an entire apple in about 10 seconds.
It's got to be Honeycrisp.
He's already answered this question, and I was sitting next to Gallo, and I was like, "It's like
Fuji."
I was like, Gallo, have you seen this clip of Shay eating an apple? He's like, yeah, Shay loves apples. He's like, he actually already answered this question. I guess Macintosh is what he said.
Oh, never heard of that one.
Macintosh.
Apple time.
You ever go to the grocery store and get a Macintosh apple?
You know, I don't think of it, but I have heard that before. I'm not sure if I've ever eaten one.
I mean, I
like
think
to
about
eat,
like the Macintosh Apple.
eat.
This computer is a Apple Macintosh.
That's why it's called that, probably.
What if that's what he was saying?
He's like, I like.
What's my favorite apple? Oh, it's Mac products. That's what he's really saying to you.
What if it was a joke?
Oh, it was
Could have been a joke.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a real apple.
I mean,
It is an apple.
You would think it is.
I don't know. I
But
don't know.
I go look at any grocery store. I don't see Macintosh apples at all.
Is that a real? Is that a real apple? Is that a real type?
Oh
of
yeah,
apple?
look at it.
Yeah, that's a nice apple.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's got some green in it. Some.
It's called the Mac.
The Mac.
Colloquially. Colloquially. That's a hard
the
word.
Mac colloquially?
Colloquially.
Mac.
Colloquially.
The Mac is
That
an
is hard.
apple cultivar, the national apple of Canada.
Oh,
It all makes sense now.
dang.
Wow.
Man.
Should have known.
That's
Should have known.
so on brand.
That's great.
Extremely on brand. Extremely on brand. We have a couple super chats. One from J Brum 30. Finally, a great Big Three game. Feels like this team still has another level they can go to. I agree, J Brum 30. And then Daniel Sinney in the chat says, I'm a little worried about Kaysen and our ability to keep him because if I'm the Nets, I throw $30 million at him and OKC can't match. He's so good. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the Thunder have a lot of ways to keep this roster together, and I don't know. We don't have to worry about that.
And here's the thing: if you are a team that is annually every year contending for a championship, those players do what they need to do to stay on that team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. We still have time. We
don't have to talk about all that.
Yeah,
but is there any chance that Shea takes a cut?
No, not Shea.
He's going to get paid $75 or $80 million a year.
At what? Yeah, he'll be the first $80 million man.
In Oklahoma, that's like $1 billion.
I mean,
a year.
you might.
Oh my God!
You might as well just have infinity dollars.
Infinity dollars.
That is infinity.
Because
dollars.
I don't know that you could spend it all living here.
No, the only way you could is if you got partial ownership of the team that you play for.
Yeah,
just give it to him. I'm ready.
Just give it to him. I just wish you can't do that, but I do think. I don't know. I wouldn't want to speculate on something like that. That is a very personal decision for Shea. It's a personal decision for Dub and for Chet too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And here's the deal. Like if any of the people that we work for came to you and say, hey, would you like to have the maximum amount of money or not the maximum amount of money? Yeah. I think you would say, I'll take the maximum amount of money, please.
True.
You know,
it's not worth this. I don't know why I even brought it up, but it's like, if my maximum was $80 million and my slightly less is $65 million, I may change my opinion.
The thing about money, though, and we all know this, there's never enough.
Amen, brother.
You
said it.
No matter what level you get to,
you always want some more.
You always want more,
dude. You have my brain right now. What's going on?
It will never satisfy you,
man.
No, even if it's 80 million, there are billionaires. There are billionaires out there.
They want more of it.
Who have a lot more money.
How much you got?
And what do they want?
More money.
There's never.
They want to see those numbers go up.
Y'all are tapping into
There's never enough.
One of the biggest broken parts, man.
It's true. It's true. Zach Travers in the chat says, if any dunkers are in New York City, follow Thunder Up NYC for watch parties at Standings and the Liberty. Yeah.
Very cool. Hey, what's up, Zach Travers? Good to see you, buddy.
Zach Travers? What's up, Zach?
The Zach Travers.
Hi, Zach.
Hey, I saw your sister at the zoo.
Shout out.
Shout out, Zoe.
Zoe at the zoo.
Yeah, Zoe at the zoo.
What was your favorite? When did you go? The zoo.
On Sunday. It was great.
Favorite animal?
Oh,
red pandas.
I don't know. I didn't see the red pandas. I really like the new lemur cage at the front.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay. I haven't been to the zoo in 20 years.
It's great.
Oh, it's great.
I went to a wedding there, and it was nice.
They've done.
You should definitely go to one of those. They have the zoo,
a walk-in
brew tours and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You would enjoy that.
Adult. Yeah, I would. Haven't gone though, but I would.
The zoo is nice. I haven't been in probably a decade, but. I also want to go to the new science. Not that the science museum is the same, but they've got a new planetarium.
Oh, dude, everything over there is awesome.
Remington Park.
It's awesome. My kids love it,
brother. Huge fan of the slots.
Yeah, I'm like, go. Right. Yeah, I'm betting on the ponies, and they're in there mashing buttons in the little casino. It's great.
Teach them young.
Yeah,
that's illegal.
That there's never enough.
Can't do it.
That's
teach them.
Teach them young. That no matter how much you make, you're always going to want more.
That's right.
Teach them young.
Anyways, it would be cool if they all took pay cuts. They're like, you know what, we're doing this for queso. But I don't think that's going to happen. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hey, I need to go.
To the bathroom?
Yeah, I can leave in 10 minutes. You got me 10 minutes?
And we're back. After that quick break. Now it's time for some Twitter questions.
Twitter questions. You got questions and you ask them on Twitter. Now we answer them for you.
This is Twitter questions. Now let's get down to it.
Yeah, God thing.
In the this is the Lord.
Yeah, that's
This
a
is the
God
Lord.
thing. That's
The
a God
Lord
thing.
was flowing through me.
How did
agree.
that song come to be? The Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit.
I don't
That's a God
disagree.
thing.
Feeling it, man.
I don't
It was too perfectly done. And
It
you cut it
was.
off right at the right time.
It's hard to,
When I
that's what's
hear
hard
it,
to believe.
We're
Like,
ta-
if you-
by the way, we're talking about how Luke. So I played this. There was a particular song that was on my Rodecaster Pro board, and I hit it on accident instead of the Twitter questions, because we used to have this Twitter questions drop that was just Twitter questions.
Yeah.
And I accidentally hit the song instead, and Luke was like just vibing to it, and then he just started singing and just makes up the Twitter questions song.
One take.
Had one take, no preparation.
It was just divine intervention.
I still missed
It
the
was.
top five power rankings, but
Yeah.
I kind of blacked out during it, and I woke up and the song.
You were in a flow state.
It was
You were
like
in a flow
have you
flow
seen-
state, man.
Have you seen the Beatles when they're in that Disney Plus thing when they just are making that song out of like nowhere and they just have come up with like the most iconic
Let It
song
Be.
ever?
All of a sudden,
It's
just shows up.
basically
That's
music.
pretty much the same.
Yeah,
thing.
I
it
agree.
is.
We should put it on Spotify.
When I find myself.
We should.
It's beautiful.
People always say like, "Hey, that's a legitimately good song."
A 10-second song on Spotify.
Now let's get down to it.
Let's do it. Hey guys, our first Twitter question
Should have been bent.
comes from at
So good.
the Meek
good.
Leak, who said, "How surreal does this feel to you right now? Are you having an out of body experience?"
No, I will.
Super in
It's
body
just you just got to
experience?
be so cautious, man. I'm too. 3-1 broke me, man.
You know where you
Yeah.
should throw that caution?
To the wind.
To the wind.
Yeah, I definitely
Live a little. Enjoy it.
It definitely feels like that to me. It is,
Feel it. Just feel
Yeah.
good. Let yourself feel good for a
We're
moment.
watching Shea get the MVP. I mean, I was at the press conference yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago, and you're just like, what in the world? Like, I cannot believe this is happening.
Mhm.
Am I crazy? It looked like
Yeah.
it looks like they shot that in standard definition.
There were some people that did.
There were some videos I saw. I was like, why is that the grainiest thing I've ever seen in
I
my
don't know
life?
if, like, some of it was that, like, the press conference started at 7. We got an email. It was marked at 6:12. It's like, hey, press conference, and like everybody just scrambled to get there.
That makes sense. It
So
must
I
have been.
don't- I
Do you
don't know if
think?
that-
Do you think
that
that
shouldn't have
Do you
anything
think
to do
that
with
Shea
it,
had? So what is that? 48 minutes. Do you think he had 48 minutes to put together those gift baskets?
Yeah,
Personalized
they
Rolexes
had no,
and
they had
jackets,
no warning
and
of it.
had no
whatsoever.
idea. That's crazy.
Yeah, Paris Lawson had no clue she was hosting the thing.
That's wow.
Crazy.
Surprising. Chuck made my day watching that MVP thing when he asked who Kenrich Williams was.
Oh yeah.
Who's 34? And then Shea like
34?
genuine laughing, like
Yeah.
the whole crew was just dying.
That was good. He
And
was
then
like, I haven't seen him whole playoffs. And then he's playing the other day.
called him 34. Yeah.
And then Ernie goes, "Hey, make sure Kenrich knows that we know who he is."
Yeah. Shout out to Ernie.
It does feel like I said, I'm overly cautious of this because I just know how things can change in a second. But all of this coming to fruition the way that it has so far is just, I mean, the out of body is, probably not quite how I feel about it, but it is pretty special.
It's hard for Jay to get out of body, I would say. Is it hard for you to get out
It's too
of body?
thick, man.
That's not what I'm saying.
Too
I was
thick.
not making a thick joke.
Oh, it's probably hard for you, Jay.
Probably hard for you to move in general, isn't it?
Taylor apologized.
Seems like a pretty
That is
difficult.
not what I was saying.
Probably hard for
Jay
you to
seems
get
like a
outside
pretty
of
difficult
that.
body to have.
Probably hard for you to get outside your skin, isn't it?
Probably hard for you to get outside your damn car.
Taylor apologized.
You don't need to apologize. I'm not
No.
offended.
Sorry, Jay made the joke.
You
on
think
himself.
We're having
like
to do
I'm
a lot of-
shocked? I'm shocked that I'm thick. Oh dang! It's
That's
the
not
first
what
time
I was
knew it.
saying
Yeah,
ever.
right, bro. Come on, bro.
Hard to get through all those layers to get out of body.
Yeah, dude. Can't imagine how you get out of your clothes, either. How do you even
That
get
soul's
in?
gonna have a hard time getting to heaven, having
No.
to break through all those layers.
Break
dude.
all the way around. All right, too far, dude.
All
Now you're
right.
talking about heaven.
Sorry, hell.
Sorry.
Hey guys, let's go to our next Twitter question. It comes from @ZachDeeg.
Dude, let's get down to it.
who says rank the Thunder players
Let's get
by
Tucker.
who would get the most money if they were all free agents this summer.
I mean, Shea, number 1.
Shea seems like a pretty safe
Dub,
one.
number 2. Chet, number 3.
Yeah,
That's probably it.
Yeah.
Queso, number 4.
that's probably it. Who would be number 4?
Queso.
I mean, Caruso, Isaiah Hartenstein.
Who's making more right now? Hartenstein's making more.
Yeah,
per
Hartenstein's
year,
making more.
but not that much more than Queso or than
I mean,
Caruso.
you could argue that like Caruso's extension is just insanely
God.
valuable.
Yeah.
Because even at the time, because he just had such a weird regular season that you just thought, okay, like where's this gone? Like next year he's making
he's worth all of it.
He's making
Sam
18
knew.
18.1 next year, 19.5 the next year, 27.28, 20.9, and then 28.29. And this deal will look even better then is 22.4. I mean, they have him through 28.29, which is pretty incredible.
It's good.
Yeah, he'll retire here.
You could see him like easily getting 30 plus from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I don't know. He's old. He's got some injury stuff. Like, I just think Kaysen has the more value.
I mean, with age and all of that, for sure. But Caruso has been. I mean,
A championship team, if they had
if the Warriors or
that's the hard part. Is all the money. The
or-
money goes to these teams, but none of those teams have that money.
Yeah.
So if you're the Nets and you have an unbelievable amount of cap sheet left, or insert team that has money to spend,
this is all outrageously hypothetical.
Yeah.
Because they're all under contract.
That's right.
So
which is stupid
with us.
Oh, and then you have Zach Lowe. What? This is my favorite, like Zach Lowe, psycho NBA fan and just mindful guy. He's just like, sometimes this is his tweet after the game or like towards the end of the game. Sometimes I just think about how the Thunder have Nikola Topic on their bench. Like Zach Lowe.
He's thinking about
what in the people are like,
who? He's the
like,
man.
He
He's the man.
He became a Thunder fan like in that moment.
It's like sometimes I just think about how Nikola Topic is on their bench.
He basically copied and pasted like a Thunder like fan account tweet.
Yeah, that's true. Yes,
because that is like
so funny
something
to me.
that like our guy 3 Cone would say.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah.
like a random moment.
Travis Funny is just like
man.
And they still have Topic to play next year.
So what are we doing here?
That's hilarious.
What are we doing here? Isaac
Summer League MVP.
Isaac Herrera in the chat gives us a super chat. He said, "My wife
my wife
said from day one that OKC would sweep the Timberwolves. Is she crazy?" I say OKC in 6. Praying for your wife and family. Thank you, Isaac.
I'm gonna say 5 makes more sense. I can't imagine a sweep.
What did you guys think before the
6
started? 6.
I also thought.
Although 6 is always stupid because they're
It's
gonna
the
win on
cop-out.
the.
I said this earlier. It's the cop out. That's what I predicted too, but it's the complete cop out.
It's
Like
a 7.
7 feels like too much. 5 feels like disrespectful.
Yep. So
6 is just there.
It's the porridge. It's the just right porridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 5. I think 5 before. I think the Nuggets challenge and grinding that out unlocked this team.
5 is the one now that I feel like is the reality.
5 feels like. I mean, that's got to be like.
But like I said, if they win Game 3, it's sweep.
But after those first 2 games, 5 feels respectful to the Wolves.
Yeah, it does. It's like, hey, you guys get 1. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Pat on the back.
It does feel like that a little bit.
Yeah, just because how many games do we have until next podcast?
So they play Saturday, Monday, Wednesday.
I mean, it's possible that it's possible that this is over by next Wednesday, Game 5.
If it is, we're gonna have a giant night pod at midnight.
Oh yes,
iPod.
I'll do that.
Hold on, wait.
If it's
Wednesday?
at home though, there's no way.
No, I was about to say at 3 a.m.
Yeah, I was gonna say we
Let's
don't
do
want to do that.
Let's get down to it. Hey, next Twitter question.
Can't believe you get out of your skin.
You think you could even do it, Jay?
You think you could even fit there?
You're the one that said these things.
I know.
did.
That's why I like
This
it.
is-
Keep it going.
We didn't say these.
Keep it going.
That's a good. That's a great point, L man.
Chris Will 90, who wants to know what adjustments do you expect the Wolves to make for Game 3?
I think they're going to have to be more aggressive. I think Randall's going to have to be more aggressive. I think they need to make threes, and at home, I think that guys will make threes. I think the biggest adjustment that they can make is just make open shots, but I just don't know that there are a lot of other adjustments to go to defensively because they've already thrown a lot at the wall and nothing has worked. So
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, like
I think they're just gonna have to have like a really crazy game from 3.
Yeah.
Allow Rudy Gobert to do speed and hope for the best.
Do people still do speed?
I think so.
I think that's just what
We just
Adderall
don't
is.
hear about it anymore.
That's just what Adderall is.
Oh, maybe that's why people don't talk about
They
it
just
anymore because
legalized
everyone's
it.
on it. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hey guys, let's go to our next
Oh wow.
Twitter question. It comes from let's do another at Chris Will 90. What's your favorite Thunder moment of this playoff series so far?
This playoff series or the playoffs?
Well, it says this playoff series, but let's just do the whole playoffs.
I like Chet had 2 moments last night that I liked. The lob that he definitely got fouled on, but
that felt like so big too.
And then when he had that dunk on Dante DiVincenzo and then just yelled at him, I like that. That was a good tech.
That was a good tech. That was a tech that
was
even Shea
hilarious.
liked.
That was really funny. Christian A in the chat says singing goodbye to the Nuggets in Game 7.
Oh,
yeah.
Also, the Ludacris song.
That was we never talked about that.
That was crazy.
That was like they probably didn't play it last night because I'm assuming the Thunder got uncomfortable. But I would go back to that pretty much every time.
That
now.
was really cool. Yeah, they should if and when the Thunder make the finals, they should play that
for the
exclusively.
It was crazy for the whole crowd just together just want to sing it together.
It was very
and
cool.
everyone decided like we're doing it.
It was very cool.
That's beautiful.
There's
Really.
been a lot of like moments, like even during the national anthem last night, there was this guy playing the fiddle. And like halfway through,
Is it
everybody
a fiddle or a violin?
Or a viola.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're the same?
Yeah.
Move on.
Fiddle's just a country way of calling a violin.
I apologize.
playing the fiddle.
Was it Dillingham?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he
Was he
you know
skating
him?
around on roller skates?
Do you know him?
No, I know of him.
Okay. So, anyways, the crowd started singing the
Singing
national
along
anthem.
to the national anthem. The
Like,
whole
during it.
crowd.
Like the crowd has just been phenomenal. It was very cool. It was very cool. My favorite moment is Game 5 in OKC when Shea hits that 3 to put them up 6. Was just like a moment. The crowd was just on fire.
Oh, you're talking, I thought we were just talking this series.
I think just the whole
Game
playoffs.
5 was it was it.
Game 5 was like the moment of the playoffs. I think
The dub 3 in the corner.
Dub 3 in the
The
corner.
Dort 3 threes back to back to
Yes.
back that brought
Yeah.
them back. Like
That-
there was a lot of moments in
Yeah,
Game 5.
that
That was the playoffs for them.
Yeah.
My favorite was from the
Got it
Grizzlies series. No, that feels like that was a year ago.
Dude, that's what I was talking about last night to some of the guys I was with. Was like that feels so long ago.
The Nuggets series was a lifetime.
Oh
to
my
live through.
god,
It
it really
feel like-
was.
It did.
It was
feel
not
like
even
that.
a week ago though.
Yeah, it will.
About a week ago.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey guys, move on to our next Twitter question.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, we got
He's gotta go.
Hey, Jay has to do something.
If
to
we're
me.
gonna move on to Miffed and Peeved, I'll stay.
all right, let's do
Are you
it. Myth and
miffed and are you piffed?
Miffed and peeved.
How can you be Miffed and Peeved at this moment?
Can't be miffed and peeved. Listen, I'm also Gene Bead. It is my wife.
My wife.
It's our 16th anniversary today.
Wow.
I've been married for a while.
It's driving.
A happy anniversary.
Your
Shout
your
out.
marriage is driving.
That's right. That's what they say.
Nice.
My
Just
marriage
got
is
your
driving.
license. You finally got your license.
Just want to give a shout out to my wife.
My wife. Shout
Happy
out.
anniversary is the best. I'm just really grateful for her. And
16 years, man.
16 years.
Been
And-
together for 20 some odd, huh?
Yeah.
You're the best around. Nothing in the world can keep you down. You're the best around.
Hey, I'm also grateful and blessed, but also kind of miffed and peeved. I was driving to work on Tuesday.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Well, a bucket. The car in front of me, bucket, fell out of the car in front of me, bouncing all around the freeway. leading
Final
up to me.
destination.
Wow.
I hit it.
Oh god.
Yeah, but
Really?
but I survived.
But I survived.
You're the best around.
Did it hurt your car?
No, I don't think so. It
Good
didn't.
job.
There's no like dent or anything. It was stuck underneath my car to pull over. bounce out.
It was like
Well,
just
that's
like a pink and green little kitty sand bucket from a playground or something.
Yeah. No, it was one of the contract ones from like Home Depot.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
it's a
5-gallon bucket.
It's a pretty big
Wow.
bucket.
That's a big bucket.
That's a pretty big bucket.
That's a big old bucket. You gotta
That's
get
what I
all
said when I was
broke.
driving. It was bounce. I go, that's a big old bucket.
Oh
That's a
no!
big
What's
old-
up with a big old bucket?
That's a big old bucket.
Big old bucket.
Neat. I'm taking the wife to Mahogany tonight.
My
for the
wife to
anniversary.
Mahogany.
What's any recommendations?
Steak, a nice big old glass of wine.
A big
old
I have
glass
not heard
of
you say big old
wine.
glass of wine in a long time. All right. Thank you so much for listening to our show. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Left alone now. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy game 3. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday.